Oh my goodness. Hey everyone. I have so many books to talk about. Welcome back to Hope and Coffee. We are just starting to get our feet wet with September. I don't even think I have gotten to do my final book review for August yet, and I am just now about to do my books on deck for September, and I have so many to talk about. I was literally making myself a list earlier today, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I really have quite a few. But I kind of wanted to talk to you guys to see what y'all think and see where we can go from here. So I have quite a few that I'm working through on my Kindle and my audiobooks and stuff like that. So we're going to start with some of my NetGalley books that I'm really excited to work through. And one is Vivian Valentine and the Ticking Clock, and that one is just so fun so far. It is one that I have on Kindle, and it's one that I got from my NetGalley account. It is an advanced reader copy that I believe comes out in September. Actually, no, I take that back. It's in November, but it is a very fun, very what I call whodunit sort of book. So if you love murder mysteries, that's very 1920s whodunits, sort of Agatha Christie-esque, murder in the street sort of thing on New Year's Eve. That's exactly what you're going to get with this particular book. There's a little bit of romance, there's a little bit of sass and wit. And that's exactly what Vivian Valentine and the Ticking Clock is all about. So I am so far about 20% into that. I will definitely be finishing that this weekend. I have just got to, again, I have so many books on deck right now that is one of the ones that I am going to finish this weekend. Absolutely have to. The next one that I have to finish that I am doing as a book club read with my Books Are Magical podcast is The Fourth Wing, and is by Rebecca Yarros, and it was a really big hit earlier this summer. So this is my first time reading it, and I think I'm about 70% of the way through it, and it's really, really fun. It is kind of a YA fantasy fiction read. It's going really fast. I'm having a great time with it. My co-hosts have already finished. They've already started telling me about plot twists and stuff like that. I'm super excited. So if you kind of the books so far I'm kind of putting in the same vein of Hunger Games and Divergent and the really big book series of where you've kind of got this this young girl who is kind of a coming of age. She didn't want to be a dragon rider, but her mom wants her to be a dragon rider. She wanted to be a scholar. Going through a dragon rider training school and all this sort of stuff. So all of her different obstacles she has to face just to prove to everyone that she's just as good as everyone else. I'm loving it. I'm not saying that I'm the biggest fan of the quote-unquote chosen one sort of trope, but she's definitely more or less this reluctant hero sort of person where this sort of mantle has been thrust upon her and she is not going to let anyone down. And I can already see that there is a sequel for this book called, I think, Iron and Flame, and I may, if this book is going to be as good as it's already been so far, I may end up diving into that next as well, but that may be for a different month. What else? Oh my gosh, I am reading The Echo of Old Books, which is another book that I have on my Audible, and it is so incredibly good. It is so contemplative and thoughtful. It is one that I didn't even realize was going to be as good as it is, but it's about this girl who owns a bookshop. It was kind of gifted to her by the previous owner. She was more or less like the daughter he never had, but anytime she touches a book, she can feel almost the emotions of the person who owned the book before. And so she runs across a series of books, or a couple of books that feel connected. And so you have a couple of different stories interweaving as she is reading, or as she's telling her own story as well. So So far, it's really, really good. That one's a little more dramatic with just slight bits of what I would call like magic realism, I guess you could say, because she does have that sort of ability to kind of read the pages with the, I guess, that personal touch. But it's so good. So far, it's really, really like it's kind of got me riveted. So many books that I have picked up this month are really good. The next one that I'm reading for the Books Are Magical podcast is called Champion of Fate. I'm about 20% of the way through it. Really enjoying it. And again, it's about a girl who her village was killed, and she was one of the sole survivors. And she was taken in by a group of warrior women and trained, and now it's her time to kind of go up against the gauntlet to see if she can also become one of these warrior women. And again, I'm about 20% of the way through it. Definitely going to get that one finished. I can't wait to see how that one turns out and where it's going to take me next. But definitely ready to talk about that on the podcast. So I don't want to give too much away on that one. We have Starling House, which I have seen on so many websites and in so many articles that I am definitely recommending that to my book club podcast girls as well. That one is phenomenal. I finished that one today, and it's not even due until November. So I just have to say that one is a book that I am going to probably be shoving into everybody's hand here in the next few months. I will be singing its praises very, very soon. So Starling House, it is really good. It's dark, it's mysterious, it's kind of creepy, it's fantastical. It has just this beautiful allure to it, but it's not too pretty. It's a little bit grimy, and I think I love that about it. And then finally, what was the last one I was reading? Because I tell you, I have just been reading so many books that it's just not even funny. Navigating Fox by Christopher Rowe. I started that one yesterday. It's not a super long read. I think it's about 115 pages or so. Absolutely adorable. I think it must be a YA read, but it is so cute. It is about a fox, and they are called they're called knowledgeable animals. So there are the knowledgeable animals, the ones who can talk, and then there are the voiceless, the ones who cannot talk. And he is the only knowledgeable fox, and his name is Quentin. And he is a navigator, and he is leading an expedition to quote unquote hell. And it is his second expedition there because the first expedition apparently did not make it. Well, maybe they did, because all we know is that he's the only one who survived. And now we are making a second expedition with a couple of additional people as well. And so he's kind of reluctantly going, but you have these two stories kind of weaving of him remembering the first expedition while he's going on this second expedition as well. And it is really fascinating, and I'm absolutely loving it because there is a bison who is so awesome, and I really wish it was longer. I really do. I think I read almost 70% yesterday, so I have about 30% to finish tonight, and I'm definitely going to finish it in 2 sittings. But that's just a handful, because I actually made myself a list of the other books that I need to finish for this month as well, and I think there's about 3 or 4 more. But those are just the ones that I'm remembering right off the top of my head, because I think I left my little notebook back on the counter back there, and I just don't want to have to get up to go and try to read off the rest. But I think there's Fair Rosaline, there's the Haunted House on the Hill, there's God Killer. I think there's one more. I read After the Forest, which was brilliant, and gosh, if I remember the other one, I may talk about that as well. But anyway, I just wanted to kind of give you all a heads up of the books on deck for September. I am so very excited because every single one of these books that I've already mentioned, I am thrilled about. Absolutely thrilled about. I cannot wait to talk about them and possibly do some episodes on them. So if there's one that I've talked about that you are interested in hearing about, please leave a comment down below. I would love to talk more about them if you are interested. So if you've made it this far, please like, subscribe, leave a comment, and I will see you all on the next page. Have a great one.